Shri Guru Maharaj. Good evening, everyone. Namaste, Swaminiji. On behalf of our Shuddha Gurukulam, I welcome you all for the long weekend the course with Swaminiji. So many of you are regular visitors to ashram and attending courses. Few of you are new, so some of these informations may be new to you, and also for the regular visitors, just to refresh some of the details. So, as we kind of discussed with Swamiji, the classes will be happening here, and I will also go through the timings. There is a small change than the regular timings for participants to attend the other classes also whenever possible. So that is one. And generally, this is the general instruction. Normally in our courses, in between we don't encourage to ask questions or pass comments or something when Swamiji is teaching. So you can hold the questions and have it written on the paper. We'll keep the card and pencil over there or pen over there. So you can note down the questions, and then the questions will be answered by Swamiji in the Satsang session and in the evening. So that's one thing I just want to make sure. And if anyone is interested in library, during the break time, library will be open between 1 and 3. So we have volunteers who have accepted to keep it open. So you can visit. And also we have bookstore whenever you want to buy any of those books by Swamiji's and Swaminis and everybody. So that is one. So let me quickly go through the schedule. So today now we are having the orientation with Satsang. And then tomorrow, Friday, our first class, Swamiji's first class will be at 9:15. This is to facilitate again 7 to 8:15, the other class is there, and then we want to give an hour for the breakfast. And breakfast will be served in the main dining hall only. You have to go all the way there and then have the class over here at 9:15. The second class will be at 11:15. So each class will be 1 hour, as you know. And then the meditation is switched to 5:30 to 6 p.m. in the evening. Again, it will be here. And satsang will be 7:30 to 8:30. So that's the schedule. Till that is Friday and Saturday, tomorrow and day after. On Sunday, the concluding day, because that is also our third Sunday of the month, we have Gita classes. So Swamiji will be taking the Gita classes in the regular schedule which we used to have, like 10 to 11, 11:25 to 12:25. Swaminiji would be doing the concluding class at 8:30 a.m. followed by Guru Dakshina. So that will also happen here. Then anyone wants to attend the Gita class, you can continue that. Yeah.
Just a quick question about Sunday. We are going to have a meditation and the lecture.
Right. 7 to 7:30 is the meditation.
You want to do it that way? 7 to 8:30?
Yeah. If everybody is fine with that, I don't mind.
I'm just asking because
Yeah.
so is on schedule, so it's going to be a long hour and a half. So.
No. It will be 7 to 7:30 and then 8:30 to 9:30. So you have 1 hour gap for the breakfast. Yeah. So it will be like that. Yeah. So this is the class schedule. If any clarifications, you can even ask me later also. And coming to the other ones is like temple schedule. For most of you know that, which is standard schedule. The Ganapati Homa, Laghu Ganapati Homa starts at 5:15, goes till 5:30. And then after 10 minutes, 5:40, Rudrabhishekam for Dakshinamurti will start. That goes till 6:45, 6:50 to be in time for the 7 o'clock class. So that's how it is. And afternoon Aarti is simple Naivedyam and Aarti at 12:15 every day. And 6 p.m. is the evening Aarti. So that's the schedule. And the coffee, tea, warm hot water and everything on this lobby also is open at 5:15 itself. So if anyone is earlier looking for hot water or tea or whatever, you can come here. And breakfast is between 7:30 and 8:30 over there. And then lunch at 12:30. And again, evening coffee we have put a time, but it will be available. The chai will be ready by 3 o'clock, 3:30. Dinner at 6:30. So generally we close the dining hall between 2 and 3 to enable the staff to clean and get ready for the next sessions and all that. The only other thing special this Sunday is being a Gita class Sunday, and also we have Vedic Heritage class people are coming, around 45-50 people. Thanks to our Ranjanaji. So they are all visiting here. And so that day we are expecting a lot of people during the lunchtime. So just be prepared for it. Nothing for you to do, but I just want you to be prepared so that there won't be any surprises. Because generally on a summer Sunday and Saturdays we get more people coming to temple or visiting other temples, come here for lunchtime mainly. And particularly if the weather is good, we will expect much more. So we are prepared for it, but sometimes it is overwhelming. So the staff and others will be this, so please adjust with us if there is any issue, let us know, so we can sort out that. So that is the overall topics from my side. Swaminiji, and anything else if you need, let me know. Yeah.
The class, Swami's class, Swamiji's class tomorrow morning at 7. Where will it be?
It will be in the temple hall. Yeah, it will be Swamiji's class is temple hall. Sunday, most probably the Gita class may be in the main lecture hall in the new building because of the number of people coming from outside for that class also, and then both these classes combined if everyone attend. Probably we may not be able to accommodate everybody in the temple hall itself. So most probably, but we will announce it on Saturday where it will be once we discuss with Swamiji also.
There are some new people, so if you want to let them know about Sunday's Gita class schedule, 10 o'clock to...
Yeah, so the Gita class schedule, as I mentioned, it is first class will be at 10 to 11 and the second one will be 11:25 to 12:25. And that is a continuous class. So right now they are in chapter 10, 25th shloka. So that Swamiji will continue and that is how it will be.
That will be in the main auditorium.
Right. Most probably in the main auditorium. I will confirm that because it depends on number of people and also we have group of people coming. So better maybe the auditorium. But we haven't yet officially discussed with Swamiji on that part and we will do and announce it tomorrow or Saturday.
Thank you.
Yeah. And these classes are live also in YouTube, as you all know. So it's accessible to everyone. So if anyone wants to view it after or you want to share with your friends and families, you can do that. It's in our Bhagavad Gitã channel. So it will be there available all the time. So with that,
Our classes will be on Ashtavidya or on her
Ashavidya.
No, Harsh.
Here all the classes will be streamed in Ashavidya channel.
Sure.
Yeah. Sometimes we republish in Swamini's or Swamiji's channel as well, but the primary channel will be Ashavidya and then it will get copied or uploaded later on. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Thank you, Swami. Thank you, everyone.
And one last thing, I think hope everyone has the booklet. If you want, I'll leave a few of them
Yeah, I
here.
take one. I give my contribution. Thank you.
I'm substituting for service. Substituting for service.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
this is the one.
Keep it close. That is for this record.
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. And some of the faces are familiar, but many I'm seeing for the first time. So it will be nice if you just introduce yourself one by one, so that I at least know the names and become familiar with you all. We'll start with Pradeep. Just your name and
Pradeep Deval from Marlborough, New Jersey.
okay.
Brinda Deval from Marlborough, New Jersey.
Gopal Doshi from Hazlet, New Jersey.
About Parak from Boston. We used to be in New Jersey, but now we're in Boston.
Lavanya from Boston.
Bharati Doshi from New Jersey, Hazlet.
Madhu from San Jose, California. Ila Shah from New Jersey.
Ila Sukharia from Staten Island, New York.
Suman Mishra from Harrisburg. I've been coming here for many years and attending your courses.
Okay.
Shubha from Sacramento, Texas.
Raikote Kumar from San Antonio, Texas. I've been here many years ago, 2-3 times, but I'm not been here several years.
Transcending from Marlborough, New Jersey. Shreya Potter from Marlborough, New Jersey.
Sanjay Pottenkar from Marlborough, New Jersey.
Janet from New Jersey.
Narasimhan Ichabai from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Sorry, I can't.
That is okay, Rana.
Alakarana from Somerset, New Jersey. Neetu Chopra, Princeton, New Jersey.
Bhupendra Shah from Parsippany, New Jersey.
This is right from New Jersey, first time here.
Yeah.
Desai from New Jersey. Dasha from New Jersey, Princeton.
Princeton. Okay. Some of them must be there, no?
There are few people.
Okay.
Shashibai is there.
So, I'm sure you all know who I am, Swamini Paraprajnananda. And every year I come here for 2 months in summer, 2.5 months I come from India, Ahmedabad. We have our ashram over there. And you must be knowing Swami Viditatmananji. I'm his student. And I'm one of the resident teachers in his ashram. So that is about me. And now, if you have some questions, we can deal with it. Because we'll begin with our topic tomorrow. So this is Satsang and orientation. So we'll begin with our subject tomorrow, but we can take some questions if you have. Yes.
I just wanted to ask, I came in late when you were introducing, was there anything I missed before that?
We don't have other microphone now. So that, thank you. It's speaking time.
Yeah, hi. I came in when we were introducing everyone. Did I miss anything before I came?
No, not missed.
Okay, thank you.
We just began. Yes. Take that microphone.
Thank you. Yeah, I registered from this Vedanta course by you. I'm looking forward to it. I want to know any particular part of the Vedanta we are going to be discussing in the next 3 days?
Yes, we will be talking about this tomorrow, but this is based on Bhagavad Gitã. The topic that we have selected, identifying with gunas, that is Maya, is samsara. Samsara means bondage. And transcending them is moksha, that is liberation. This is discussed throughout the Shastra, that is Vedas, but discussed very poignantly, very specifically. Lord Krishna discusses this, takes up this subject in 13th chapter and 14th chapter. So I have selected one verse where the discussion has begun, from 13th chapter, and some of the verses are selected from 14th chapter. Because 14th chapter is given only to this, to the discussion of gunas. Gunas means Prakriti and Maya. I will be talking about that tomorrow in great detail. That is going to be our subject matter for 3 days. So that is very well discussed in 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And the name of the chapter is Gunatraya Vibhava Yoga, Chaturdashothyaya. So that will be as the background. And verses are also selected. Translation is also given, and we will talk about that. So that is the base. Yeah.
That answers my question. Thank you.
I have one. See, a lot of times in a person's life.
Little away.
Okay.
Little away from you.
How is it now?
Now,
Yes. A lot of times in personal life, person knows that this is wrong, what I'm doing is not correct, and they are aware of the consequences, but they sometimes with vasana, previous janma's vasana, impels them to do even if something is not right. So how we can, work with our vasana, our samsara, and not to follow into a wrong track and continue to do the right thing?
It's a very good question. Yes, you are right, but not totally right. You said that sometimes we are impelled by our past impressions. Samskaras means impressions, which we have gathered from past lives. Our psyche and mindset is made of that. You are right in that. And we are inadvertently and sometimes knowingly also, we are pulled towards that. In spite of ourselves, sometimes our swabhava, disposition, nature, which is made of certain impressions, that impels us to do something. But yes, that happens. But always there is freedom with you. The swabhava is there, the nature is there, disposition is already there. But you are not trapped into that. It is up to you whether to give in to that or exercise your free will. See, Bhagavan has given us free will also. Free will means I decide whether to do something or not to do something. The impulse is this. I'll give you an example. If somebody says something which is humiliating to me, then the impulse is there to insult back, to say something. But I can refrain from it. I can very well refrain from it. I need not, the first impulse is to say, tit for tat. But always I can refrain. I can take a pause and decide, should I do the same or should I forgive? This is just an example. That much freedom we have. It may be difficult to exercise that free will against the push, against the pull of those impressions. They are strong, but I do have freedom. And if I exercise that freedom, then I have really worked hard. Then what will happen? Slowly, but surely, you will overcome the past impressions. Otherwise, the same thing will continue. You follow? Supposing, if it is my nature, it is there to get angry. Now, if I justify that, no, that is my nature, then that will continue. But if I see the limitations in that and how dangerous that is, then if I decide and choose to come out of it, I can. It's not that I have to give in to that, but that requires first of all a firm resolve to change. And before that also, an understanding that how this is harmful to me. If I can discern that, then I make a resolve
determine, no, I am going to change, then the real progress begins. Otherwise, that thing will become stronger day by day, and it will, it will firm up. But we have this much window to exercise our free will and change ourselves, decide the course of action. This much we have. And that is what we have to do. And that is what the life is meant for, to bring about a change in ourselves, if need be. Otherwise, we continue with the same thing. And Lord Krishna has very beautifully, in Bhagavad Gita, is very practical. These kind of things you may not find in Upanishads. But Bhagavad Gita is practical in the sense that Lord Krishna takes up all these things so that we know how to deal with this and how to grow out of all this.
Duryodhana also said, Janami Dharmam, Lachami Pravritti.
Yes. Duryodhana, one of the characters in Mahabharata, he said, it is attributed to him that Janami, I will translate, Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi, Janami adharmam nachame nivrittihi, kenapi devena rudistitena niyuktos. He says, I know what dharma is. I know what codes of conduct and what righteousness is. I very well know. But I cannot bring myself to do that. I cannot bring myself to follow that. At the same time, I know what adharma is. What wrong actions are, that also I know. But I cannot stop myself, refrain myself from indulging in them. Somebody is there inside which makes me do, which means I have no control over myself. It means that. It means that. So that is a big weakness, that we become helpless. See, we are helpless with ourselves. Ourselves with our own nature and our own tendencies. And there are some tendencies which we have come with. But if we just resign, no, I cannot do anything about this, then they will remain with us. They will remain with us, right? But a chance is given. That is something very peculiar about human birth. Animals and others do not have this. We have this, free will. Free will is a big responsibility. It's a big responsibility. So we have to exercise that. And there lies the progress. We evolve there, where the real evolution is in evolving. And that can happen precisely with exercising our free will. I use it. I think before I do. I think before I speak. I think before I proceed to do according to my thoughts. I watch out whether what is going on inside is right or wrong. All this is really hard work. This is real Purushartha. This is hard work. We may be very successful in the world outside in terms of being wealthy, in terms of being very influential and things like that. But if we cannot change our nature or tendencies, even though there is that need, then there is no real progress. I'm not saying that wealth and all that is needed and that is good to have. It's a big thing. But at the same time, to be able to change, to grow in life. Growth is not easy. Aging is easy. In fact, in aging, we don't have to do anything. It happens. It happens on its own. Even when we don't want it to happen. We would want that sweet 16 may remain forever. But it will. But what won't happen on its own? Growing. That won't happen on its own. Being adult, it will happen in the natural course. But being adult inside, and that is why, sometimes we find a child in us. Even when I'm 80, 70, 75, the child which has not been attended to, we find that. And then at that time, it's not that easy to get rid of it because it has become very firm, very deeply entrenched. Those certain tendencies become very deeply entrenched, and then they are hard to go. And by that time, sometimes I lose that energy also. The energy that is there with me in the prime of life. I may not command that after, say 70, 75, 80. If I've done it from the beginning, then yes. But otherwise, it is difficult. Right or not? Yeah. So, life is to be lived very, very intelligently. There is no option to this. Either you live intelligently or you miss the time and waste away your energies also. So this is a big, very big treasure that we are given. Treasure to, it is a big thing, very precious gift that I can think. Discern what is right, what is wrong, what is moral, what is immoral, things like that. And then choose the right path. Not an easy thing. But when I do that, I really grow. Every time I choose, I make a correct choice. Every time I make a correct choice, I make my life. I make my life. So, but making correct choices, we have to use. Yes.
What about sometimes we think...
can you have the microphone, please? Pradeep, who wanted to ask something?
Please.
Yeah, please.
So we have read Mana eva manushanam karanam bandha moksha eva. And Vishya Sakta is Bandha and Nirvishya is Mukta. So in that context, my question was transcending the mind, self-realization, and moksha. If you can explain these three things.
See, moksha we are going to discuss. And in the process, transcending will also come. But yes, if you can repeat the part. Okay, I remember. Mana eva manushyanam. There is this beautiful verse that is found in Vishnu Purana and some other place also. Amrut Bindu Upanishad plus Vishnu Purana also. This verse is there. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. Which means mind is the reason, mind is the cause for either liberation of a human being or his bondage. For both, mind is the cause. Mind is responsible. So here you have to work with the mind. Mind can become either, as we discussed the other day in Malpa Road, in the temple. Mind can be your friend or it can be your enemy. It can be your friend or your enemy. But if it is enemy, we have to make it a friend. If it is enemy, I leave it as enemy, which means it goes against me. I want to tread the right path and it wants to go on the other path. I cannot allow it. If I allow it, if I permit it, then it becomes my friend, enemy, not my friend. So, that all requires hard work. Not physical hard work, but intelligence. And when we do that, mind becomes a friend. Once you have made your mind a friend, then that mind will merge with the self. Inasmuch as it won't remain as an obstacle. See, mind is not something to be afraid of. You need know why are we afraid of the mind? When it is educated, when you have educated it with what is there in the Shastra. And mind is the means. Mind is the means. Mana eva. Mind alone is the means. We have to get this knowledge with the help of the mind. So right thoughts, right education are very important. And when that is there, mind has done its work. It will cease to be an obstacle. And then, you know, that mind, when you are totally abiding in the self, mind is not a problem. It's not a problem. It is a means, you know. Whether it is up to you whether to use it or not. Like they give this example of a chariot. And then there is the one who is driving the chariot. And horses are there. And he's given the captain, the charioteer is also there. And then he is given that reins. Now these are in the hand of the charioteer. These reins are in the hand of the charioteer. Now when the horses are going on the side, then it is up to this charioteer or the captain to pull back the reins and bring the horses on the road. That time I have to use the reins, I have to pull it so that horses will not go on the side. I bring them back. Similarly, this is what we have to do. If the sense organs are indulging in the sense objects, taking all, you know, if there is that kind of tendency, I can always pull back. So in all this, mind is useful. Mind is the means. Provided you use it well. That is all the idea of the Shastra is, you know.
In third chapter, it is that the mind, the buddhi. Buddhi is the the progression, how you go back from senses to mind to buddhi, and finally get the jnana. Right?
Yeah.
So
that is mainly, you know, they are talking about the subtlety. That subtler than the sense organs is the mind. Subtler than the mind is the intellect. And then when intellect also, when it is totally with the Shastra, then all of this can be folded up very well. In that context, in the third chapter, it is said that subtler than the sense objects or sense organs, then the mind, then the intellect, and then Atma. So the real thing is closest to me. But this is something I don't see. Rest of even the mind I don't see. In the intellect also I don't see. But I see the objects. So I fold up my sense organs from the objects, and that can be done with the mind, and that too can be done by the intellect, and then all of this when merged up with understanding, no suppression, with clear-cut understanding that what I am seeking is not out there, it is I, it is in me, Atma. When this understanding is there, then this whole personality ceases to be a problem. In that sense, it is said that subtler than one is the other.
Transcending the mind in this place.
Transcending the mind is nothing but understanding this. It's not transcending doesn't mean mind will go away. Mind will cease to function. Otherwise, in wise man, there won't be any mind. Without mind, how to function? They also think mind is required, intellect is required. Transcending them means the extrovertedness is gone. extrovertedness, and that wrong understanding that what I'm seeking is out there, that is gone. Then it ceases to be a problem. It no more is restless also. In fact, it becomes your friend. It cooperates. We require the grace and cooperation of the personality, of our personality. Personality means sense organs, then mind, intellect, all of this. All this comprises of this personality. We require its cooperation, and it is in this sense that they have to be our friend. When Lord Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gitã, as we discussed the other day, that Uddared Atmana Atmanam Natmanam Avasadait. He says this, that may you lift yourself up by yourself. Never allow the self to go down. Natmanam Avasadait. Why? Because Atmaiva Hyatmanopa. Atma alone is Atma's friend. Their Atma means mind. Mind is our friend. And mind can become enemy, provided it is not, you don't educate it to go on the right path. So that kind of work, education, all that is required. When the mind knows all this, it is the means. With mind only you have to get this knowledge. Without the mind, where will the knowledge come? Mind is given for that. Intellect is given for that. That is why intellect is Vijnana. Vijnanamaya. Vijnana. Vijnana means it is the instrument. It is the instrument, most sophisticated instrument given to us. Rest of the species have very rudimentary kind of instruments. Whereas we have the most sophisticated to be able to discern what is right, what is wrong, what is nityam, what is anityam, what is atma, what is anatma. To be able to discern this is not easy. So once you educate, that is why satsanga, contact with Shastra, knowledge will come only from there. This knowledge, Paravidya. Paravidya, yes, you get it from the world. But this is Paravidya, which comes from Shastra. Because Shastra is the pramana, it is the authentic and the valid and the only means of knowledge. Shastra or the Vedas are Upanishads mainly, supposed to be the only means of knowledge, valid means of knowledge. And when your mind, intellect is in that line, immersed with that knowledge, then that mind, that is what you require. See, Atma is there but is of no use today. Atma, the self is there. But still, what is my notion? I am helpless, I am small, I am limited, nobody looks at me, nobody cares for me. The same Atma is talking like this. The same Atma is feeling like this. Atma didn't help. In spite of being there, it's of no use. When is this Atma useful? When will I own up the true nature of the self? When I know what it is. And how will I know? When I get rid of the ignorance. And how will that happen? When I listen to the Shastras. All of a sudden, as Swamiji says, Puja Swamiji says, Atma cannot be stumbled upon. I'm walking and as I came to know the self, I was sitting under a tree and I came to know the self. No, that doesn't happen, generally speaking. Yes, highly evolved souls like Raman Maharshi and those kind of sages. There were some sages. There is that sage Vamadeva. You must have heard about him in Upanishad. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we come across him. There he says, he declares, right from where, he declares from the womb of the mother. From the womb of the mother, he declares, I am Manuhu, I am Suryaha, which means I was Manu. Are you are there inside. You have not even seen the world. How can you say? But he says, And how? Because it is at that time that the past knowledge which he was gaining in all the lives, aneka janma samsiddha, as Lord Krishna says, in each and every life you gather little by little, and all of that is there. Then today in Vamadeva, this much was needed. He had to come to the womb of the mother, but there itself all the shackles are removed of ignorance. And he says what? I am this, I am that, which means the knowledge of Advaita, knowledge of oneness, that it is I who abide in sun, moon, and all the sages, everyone, it is I. That time his I was what? What was that I? That I was not that of which was there in the womb of the mother, that not of that Vamadeva. That I is the one which is all pervasive. Atma, Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. So, you come to know. So, knowledge is the only means. There is no option to that, no choice to that. Oh, what to 9? Yes.
Very good discussion on this. But my top question was on the previous topic we talked about the only human being has the judging capacity, and we judge and do right or wrong, whatever that comes. In practicality, we do that, but either we end up, we realize right wrong, the decision we made was wrong. I know it's only the human can do that. So, the question of whether, taking a revenge or doing something or decided not to do or do differently, how do you know your decisions are, again, you cannot tell right or wrong, but what you made the decision to the best of your ability. How do I judge myself?
So, your question is, how do we know whether the decision that we have made is right or wrong?
Yes.
Yeah? Is that?
Yes.
Yes, you come to know because everybody, everybody knows what right and what wrong is. In as much as, the basic things. If I steal something from you, I am not learned at all. I've never been to school. I'm a tribal, suppose. Even tribals, or say people who are totally uneducated, living in some remote corners, not educated at all, but still they know when they steal, when they kill someone, when they lie to people, then they know that they have done wrong. So this basic ethics, this basic moral sense is there in everyone. That just as I don't like to be hurt, similarly others also do not want to be hurt. This we need not teach anyone. You follow what I am saying? Everybody knows this. Yeah, the law they may not know. The nitty-gritties of the law and things like that they may not know. But this basic thing everybody knows. And nobody needs education on this. So, when you follow this, then you are on the right path. This we can make out. This nobody needs to be taught. That how I will feel if I am killed, I have to extend this to others. As Lord Krishna says this beautifully, Atmopamyena sarvatra samam pashyati. One who puts oneself in others' position and then tries to read the situation. If I were in this, if I were in his shoes, or if I were in his position, then how would I have felt? Then perhaps we are better off in understanding others. Because basic things remain the same. Basic emotions, values remain the same. whether Indian, American, European, or even, as I said, aborigines. Basic thing, this basic ethics remain the same. And that is why we can sense the harmony. The universe is running on this principle. It's governed by this. Universe is governed by this moral law. Just as there are physical laws, biological laws, laws of gravitation and things like that are there. Similarly, this is moral law. And whenever we go against the law, we know this.
In other words,
Mohanji, you can take this microphone. No, but still it will help. Because this is being recorded also, so question has to be clear.
No, I was just thinking about Shreyas and prayers, which we come in our day-to-day life. And
Prayer and?
Shreyas and
prayers, okay.
And we invariably know which is Shreyas and which is prayers. And of course, most of us fall for prayers. But we know which is good for us. That's all I want to say. So, answering the question, and that's that you answered more elaborately.
Yeah.
But we know what is good.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. The only comment I would make though, to what you were saying, you are emphasizing a tribal person, a village person, not educated at all. I think not being educated is an advantage in knowing what is good and what is bad. I think educated people tend to rationalize and blur the distinction between right and wrong.
Sometimes, yes, you find this selfishness more in, we cannot make this a categorical statement, but yes, more you know, more you see, more you want, and more sense of ego and all this. But even that is there in them. It's not there that they are without all this. But yes, to some extent, yes, with all the benefits and advantages of the urban society, if the person doesn't parallelly grow with that, and the growth, as I said, is to be carried out by one's own effort, then all this education and all this doesn't really help. You are right, it sometimes doesn't help. Yes, Madhu.
Hello, Swaminiji. So, whenever the effect is immediate, like when I touch something hard, I immediately pull back. But most of our life things are, we don't know the effect. For example, eating too much, or sleeping a lot, watching TV. So that's the time, since we don't see the effect immediately, we continue doing those. And how to deal with them, like do we have to do a hard stop, okay, from today onwards I'm not going to watch TV, or is it okay to gradually decrease our activities? Because those were the hard ones. And those were the ones lead to frustration, like I'm trying so hard, but still it's hard.
Yeah, you are right. This is all, lack of discipline. Even though I know, all this we will find in the topic which we are going to begin from tomorrow. There are these gunas, the pulls, So yes, it is difficult to come out. Say, I tend to get up at any time and postpone my procrastination, and all those tendencies are there in us. Again, all this is not easy to, it is not easy to overcome any of this. Resolve. First of all, I need to myself clearly see that this is not helping me. In fact, it is harmful for me. Simple things, simple things. But in that I'm losing so much. If we don't see this, if we don't introspect, take stock of our life and time and everything, simple things like this, in that also if the discipline is not there, pramada is there. Like, pramada means not doing what is to be done and doing all other all unimportant things. All this is taking toll of our life at the end of it if we go to see. We miss so much. So unless I see this, that resolve will not come. That no, I must change it. Life is passing by, it's ebbing away, and what am I doing? I have not reached anywhere with respect to bringing my personality also in order. But one needs to see this. It requires a serious thought with respect to oneself, with one's life, with one's time, and all that. You never know when all this will end. Like today morning, you know what happened in India. The plane crash and all. See, yeah. So, I mean, life is not a joke. You have to, seriousness of, you never know when it is going to. The time is just, not in our hands. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam. Like that lotus, lotus leaf. Things on droplet of water on a lotus leaf is so fickle. Jalam ati taralam. This droplet, life of the droplet on the lotus leaf is so fickle. Any moment it's going to go away. Our life is similar to that. So, and when it goes, it just goes. Who dreamt that plane will not reach there? Nobody even imagines. But when things are okay, when my mind is in the right state, when I have the energy, thinking capacity is also all right, it is at that time that I get up. It is at that time that really I need to work with myself. Don't postpone it for tomorrow. What you can do today, don't postpone it for tomorrow. But this tendency to procrastinate, to postpone is there in all of us. It is there. Because we take tomorrow for granted. Tomorrow for granted. Even if tomorrow is whether this will work or not, who knows? God forbid that anything should happen. But it happens, So all of a sudden people get strokes and things like that, and this too stops working. I may have time, but then I may vegetate. So, this is all about taking life into our own hands, our growth into our own hands. Don't depend upon prarabdha to do this. No, I take it in my hands. As Swami Vivekananda says, Kathopanishad says, awake, arise. Awake and arise. This is the thing. This is real Shreyas. Choosing the path of Shreyas.
Just want to say one person survived after.
Yeah, two, I think two.
Oh, two? Okay.
Yes, I heard about two.
Only one, but I have not heard about the second one. Maybe there is
one about to get the plane. She got delayed.
Ocha, that is how she survived.
Yeah.
She was not on the board.
She got delayed for 10 minutes. She got survived.
Thank God.
And only 11 years he got survived. He walked. He walked from the emergency road. He walked.
Yeah. Ramesh, somebody called Ramesh.
Swamini, you have to believe. You are safe until your time comes.
But when the time will come, we do not know. When these people must be buying the ticket for London. It's our ex-CM, Gujarat, the ex-CM was also in that.
Yeah.
He was going to see his grandson and things like that.
You were on the plane?
Yes. God. So when the time comes, we do not know. Even if you show to the best of the astrologer, you are not sure about it. So in short, what has to happen is happen, but we have to finish our work. That is what I am trying to say. If the work is over, then let it come. I don't care. After all, I am not the body. It won't be my death. Understood? If we have this knowledge before death that I am not the body, then death, I have died before the death has come. I mean, it doesn't belong to me. Then it doesn't matter when this body falls off and where it falls off. But otherwise it does matter. Inasmuch as the work is still left to be done. And tomorrow we do not know. About tomorrow, to speculate about tomorrow, that tomorrow I'll get a chance and this and who knows? Who knows? Nobody knows anything.
So how to be Jivan Mukta?
Huh?
Jivan Mukta.
That is going to come in this 14th chapter, that is going to be precisely our topic. So try to come in that. Huh? These 3 days, Jivan Mukta, it will be one of the important topics. So it is already 9. Shall we sing one small bhajan and conclude?
In the same direction. Just because I don't want to bring this topic tomorrow.
Okay.
The same.
Yeah, you can take the microphone. There it
The
is.
same connection because we talk about life, death, and others.
Yeah.
I know little, but hesitating to ask, but still I want to ask you.
Sure. Go ahead.
So, is that true? Rebirth, all that stuff?
Yes. Our Shastra talks about that. We are not that we are born like this with all these tendencies and so power. It's not an accident. There is whole reason. It's all in order.
Bhagavan says, right, in chapter 4,
So, shall we sing a small bhajan and then conclude? Jaya Jaya Rama, Jaya Raghurama. You all may repeat. Jaya Jaya Rama, Jaya Raghurama. Jaya Jaya Rama, Jaya Raghurama. Sita Rama, Shri Raghurama. Sita Rama, Shri Raghurama. Sita Rama, Shri Raghurama. Sita Rama, Shri Raghurama. Jaya Jaya Rama, Jaya Raghurama. Jaya Jaya Rama, Jaya Raghurama. Pashupati Ranjana Pavan Rama. Pashupati Ranjana Pavan Rama. Pashupati Ranjana Pavan Rama. Pashupati Ranjana Pavan Rama. Papa Vimochana Tarak Nama. Papa Vimochana Tarak Nama. Papa Vimochana Tarak Nama. Papa Vimochana Tarak Nama. Jaya Jaya Rama, Jaya Raghurama. 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 Ram 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 Rama. Everybody join. Ram 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 Ram. Purnamadaഃ Purnamidam Purnāt Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Thank you. So we'll meet tomorrow at 9:15.